Okay, so what the hell is going on in Diamond MMR in Season 14? Well, as always, people are doing this. And if you're the Vi, you're like, well, can't I just watch the entrances? Why are my team running it down basically on the bottom side? So, you should hopefully resonate with what we're witnessing over here, where the enemy Warwick is now going to get some freebies for his team. And he has actually already died, just to point that out. I didn't want to show it here. He face-checked and died. So, you know, that's a TFT challenger thing. This is a Diamond MMR game, but yeah, I don't really understand why any of this is happening. So as a Vi in this situation, what do you think about in Diamond, right? You want Master Tier, you're against the Warwick, which is basically in your mind a free win because this is not a champion that juggles well at all. I mean, it's horrible. But the Tristana is 1-0-1. However, she hasn't based yet. You've got the newcomer mid lane. So the newcomer mid lane with the buffs is pretty damn good, but she's not going to be enough to stop a Tristana, a Yasuo, or whatever getting a 2-level lead. And I know because I had a Yasuo get a 2-level lead on my Karma, and I thought it was doomed. Turns out it wasn't doomed because we just had to wait a little bit for that mid-game spike. I just got the grubs, I controlled the dragon in 2, and we just won a few fights and we won. And that's the thing about Diamond games is people often think, you know, like in Emerald and Gold and Platinum and Gold and Silver, whatever, right? They talk about how do I win those late games, right? Those team fights. How do I win at 33 when my team are caught out and I'm not with them, or you know, like we try and fight and we lose? In Diamond, you should at this point realize that if you want Master Tier quickly, you know what the best way to do it is? Win at 20 to 25. And I mean that in a very serious, non-repetitive, boring, like, just win at 25. I mean, like, literally, stop jerking it around and figure out how to win by 25. Seriously, end of story. Stop letting games go to 30. Stop letting them go beyond. Hit the turrets when you've got grubs. Take the grubs and get the turrets. If you don't get any grubs, hit the turrets anyway. Look for ways to consistently push the map forward, no matter what. Right? If you're playing a Camille, if you're playing anything like that, you have to realize that you being in that situation is the closest way to win. Now, Warwick has done a 3 camp into the red, into the Raptors. There are obviously some trackings of the vibe being on the bottom side, just for extrapolation. Obviously, here we got, you know, understanding whether it was leashed or not, and even then, it's kind of obvious if you have good early game vision. So, in Diamond, you should understand how to track where people go. Tristana goes back to base, comes back to lane, uses a double longsword Doran's blade combo to go in onto the Karma who's not greeted this out, and you're saying, well, what could I have done as Vi in this particular situation? And that's what things get really interesting, right? Really, really interesting. Here, you look at this. Why are you on red? You're Flash. Tristana has nothing. Why are you on Flash? You know what I mean? Like, this is like, oh, she actually has everything here. I get trolled by the frames again. She has stuff, but it doesn't really matter. I think we can surprise her quite nicely. The difference between good junglers and bad junglers is, do I really need to full clear here? Or is there a way for me to punish this Tristana before she goes back to base? Now, I'm not necessarily saying in this particular case it's always going to be that way, but a good Diamond jungler are those that cut a camp, cut a clear short just to make an impact. They get fed, the enemy jungler gets denied, the laner gets denied, and a certain spike is prevented. Now, the Tristana currently has in pocket 685, alright? The Karma has 318. That's due to the kill and assist plus the kill. So they're both looking at a little bit of a good, they're in a good situation because the Karma is actually spent, as you see here, right? She's spent. So we have an advantage currently over the Tristana, and we are faster than the Warwick as well at clearing, right? So can we use some of this pressure in the lane? Now, as we watch this, Karma hits the Q, alright? You absolutely must head over to virkayu.gg. I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's making junglers reach their goals, as we saw with the record number of people hitting them at the end of Season 13. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle diff every game you play, click the link below or head to virkayu.gg. What's stopping a Vi from walking into the lane right here? Because look where Fog of War is, just so you know. The laner has sagged down, so the Fog of War is straight to the bush. This laner has sagged to the side, so the Fog of War is all the way to the bush. But the minions without the laner is actually, as you can see, more on the edge. So you can actually slide in with a mouse is a little bit without being seen. So walk on up out of the brush. If the Tristana is obviously to the top side, like this is a hypothetical. And then you can hold your Q and charge it up nicely. In this case, obviously, she's in the bottom of the bush. So you walk through the side, you walk up, you start to charge your Q, You know she's probably got sums plus a rocket jump here. Here we go. It's a 22-second cooldown at this stage. Nice. Can we do something? You know, can you try and time your flash Q with her rocket jump? Can you force her flash just by pressing Q? Because if you can force her flash right now, you force it with your Q. Perfect. You're compromising her a little bit. Now, the karma actually goes in here and hits the chains. So if you ping and the karma sees you and she does the exact same thing here, she's rooted now. You can 100% hit a flash Q and kill her, right? 100%. And even if it's that close, it's worth the investor to say, "Ooh, this is a flash Q, we should kill her." I mean, look at this, 211 HP. You know, you're going to flash Q and do a max range charge there of 109 damage, hopefully. You got an auto cancel on your E, that's another 200. Maybe an auto attack cancel gives you a nice extra juice. The karma's there to do damage as well. I think you can probably kill her here. Like, you should. So, understand that there's a lot of fiesta going on. And Tristana got fed from it. So, can I leverage that against him somehow? Right here, boom. But what about my red and my cloaks? Who cares, man? Who gives a shit? Because the war goes down here. Sequencing up. And he's going to be full clearing like an emerald or diamond stuck for life. And now the flash goes through, but the flash doesn't go through because she dead if you hit the flash Q. So, Olaf goes on a journey, figures out that, hey, the Vi is not there. That's what top laners do nowadays. And the Tristana is going to go back to base. Now, obviously, if you hear what you can do is help the karma shove so she can go back to base and she still has her TP to use. Right? Huge. Now the karma's stuck pushing this out. Tristana's going to TP back in, all in her, and maybe kill her. Let's observe. Da-da-da-da-da-da-do. Woo! Close. How many times has your top laner died in, has your mid laner or top laner died in this scenario because you didn't do this? Add it up. Rise on the bottom side doing the scuttle crab. Same as a Warwick, who's now going to be walking to the top side. There's a Garen going on the Olaf. This guy stays to finish his scuttle crab first. Look at this. Bro, ditch the crab, man. Go. Off you go, doggy. Like, why are we finishing the scuttle in this particular situation? Like, I know why he wants to. We have smite. We have smite. Okay, sure, but like, fine. I'll concede this one. We technically have smite, but at the same time, it's more about I see too many people with full HP scuttles 1200. So fine. I'll concede that you might as well auto attack smite that one. But at the same time, you know, if it's at 900 HP, please don't, because if it was 900 HP, there's a possibility that your Olaf dies. This is just, and that's why I'm like, okay, well, like it was 600, he smited it. It's kind of close, you know, and he still gets there in time. But still, it's an auto attack, it's a smite, and it almost cost Olaf's life. So this is like the fringe where it's like, is this acceptable to finish the scuttle, or should I leave? Because you got to have your F keys on the situation, right? You also have to have your F keys on this situation too. Like, you could have gone here as well as Warwick, which is most likely where he was looking to go. So, you understand what I'm saying as a diamond player, hopefully. If you want Master Tier, you are. Vi, in the meantime, takes her bottom side scuttle here. We observe the fact that the Vade is now 1-2-0. There's Emilio. There's your flash key auto attack. How difficult was that? I mean, that's still a good take. Now, the Warwick's to the top side, so you know that in about 20 seconds, you're going to have that beautiful grub spawn, which means you probably should have saved your warding totem that you have right now and placed it here so we can track where the Warwick goes next. Let's see what we learned from the scenario. Warwick goes back to base. Full clear scuttle gank is juicy. Don't know why you're looking for your blue. And Warwick goes down here. So now we see him. What does he do afterwards? Have a look. Obviously, this is warded. He hits that plant, so we see it. And does anyone pay attention to it? Nope. Bottom lane does. His bottom lane actually pays attention to it. Warwick walks up to a Draven Morgana, which is like the stupidest thing you can ever do in this particular situation. And Vi gets free grubs for it. I don't have anything else to say about that other than you're Warwick and you're running out of Draven Morgana with Emilio Vane, who are losing, while Vi takes grub. You can't do it, sir, unless they troll you somehow. Remember, Morgana's W scales with missing HP as well, so that's huge if the lower you are. Like, what is the Warwick hoping to achieve here? Now, Tristana's gonna move on down. It looks like they will get kills anyway. That is the way it is. But from Vi's perspective here, you're watching this as you do grubs. There we go. Like, you could rotate to this as, you know, part of you that's like, you know, maybe I should rotate down, walk all the way through. Yeah, sure, you could. You could. But I do like just taking the camps away as well. But, you know, like, the Warwick brute forced this stupid-ass gank. And, you know, while there was a ward anyway and they saw it disengaged, I just find having this ward a little sooner allows lanes to kind of play around it better. So it's a minor thing. I don't think it necessarily changes your reality in this situation, but I do think it's something worth thinking about. We got all 3 grubs. So now we are level 6 with the counter junglers and RG Scout on the top side. We have a level 6 Olaf out of position. So what are we going to do? Say, hello, Olaf. How do you do? And the warrior gets a dragon. Dragon's like, can I still kill people? Yes. Well, there you go. Yes is the response. Olaf gets pushed off of the top scuttle. Karma gets a lot of alone time in the mid lane. And now what? Right? Now what for the Warwick? Now what for the Vi? So the Tristana's lead for me is largely because of our problem with how we played that early game. Now, yes, Karma got a kill there as well. She's 2-0-0. We didn't talk about it. But it is coin flip, right? When your teams do those good things and they get away with it without your interaction, it is a coin flip. So now Vi's going to go topside here. And I'm like, why are you going topside to a level 6 Olaf when you know Warwick's going to reset and have no camps up here, right? It's better. There's no... Okay, let's hold up a second. Just watch this play out for a little bit. There we go. Ult. I don't think it's necessarily going to matter. Karma's showing up. We're dead to Tristana. That's a beautiful Karma Q. Ignite. We'll get one. Oh, it not get nobody. Oh, wow. Well, that sucks. So, as I angrily press backspace for a reason. You know Warwick goes bottom lane. No, he does it with a Grump, because you can add the CS together, right? So, guy does a 5 camper, all right? Then he does a Scuttle Crab, and he ganks top lane. That's 24 CS. Then he goes back to base, he comes down here, he takes a Grump, right? So that'll be 28, juicy. Goes down here, does all the shenanigans, all the floating, all the nonsense, takes a Dragon. That counts as 4 CS. That's 32. Now he's going to go ahead and do the Wolves, right? And that'll be 36, which is, of course, what he's at. Now he's going to go to the top side, realize there's no camps up, he's going to rotate over. So you know this, right? When he shows bottom line, he's got 32, the Grump's down, you know he's going to do the Dragon. Afterwards, he has to go back to his Wolf camp. The Grump will, in theory, respawn at level 6, 2 minutes 15 after he takes that level 4-1. So, if you know the guy's going to be topside, all you got to do is say, Garen, stop, chill, Warwick's topside. That's it. Take your blue side camps here and consider potentially basing with a bit of gold, or cutting in and ganking mid lane a little bit maybe, right? Trying to get ahead of him, or just keep sequencing down and snowball your Draven a little bit. You've got a few decisions to make, but I don't like doing the blue and going top lane to use the Olaf when you know that the Warwick's going to be here. And when you're scanning now, you have a look, okay, nothing. The Tristana disappears off the map. So, like, leave. Walk this way. You know, like, you don't know what's going on. Like, the Warwick could be here, the Tristana's rotating, but you know these things. Now she gets baited into going back in for no reason, and Tristana makes the collapse. And again, the rewards or punishment for that early not killing Tristana is that she's now fed flowing side to side, and Karma can't do anything about it. That is the way it is. And now you lose your grub to the Warwick, who is not a champion, and puts a deep board on your Wolf camp. Now you go to the bottom side, you say, this is great, this is fantastic, yay, I'm doing the Krugs, now I can do the red. All of this is good stuff. Draven's winning, but I'm not ganking it. Why would I use it? I've got my ult up in a little bit, but look at this, the Vayne, the Milio, they've turned it around, and now Tristana, again, is free-flowing while Warwick's on the top side. There we go, double bomb, and one more attack, and we can leapfrog away. Vi's not like, oh man, I should do something about this. Flash Q, auto attack E, oh, that was easy. Reacting too slow to these scenarios is going to cost you in the quest for mastery. You've got to be driving the bus, not a passenger. The moment that Tristana's driving the bus, and everybody else is a passenger. However, as the jungler, it's on you to be said driver, and if you're not going to climb. And because she focuses on the quadrant first, now we've got a gargantuan waste of time. I'm gonna do my red quad. Like, she's literally treading over ground she's already walked over multiple times, and that's a loss of time control that we don't want to see, okay? Now, obviously, the Warwick is not exactly doing anything in this particular game, necessarily. We're up 20 CS with 2-on-1. It looks good and juicy. But does it feel like the Vi's in total control at this stage? You feel that energy? No, I don't. Because the top lane death, for me, seals the fact that she has no idea what's going on. The Warwick's just a being, a beast. He's like, yes, I'm going to go and ult bottom, mid lane now and get a kill. Because I can. The Olaf has prior, so he's going to cut down and do the grubs. Because he can. And sure, we have 4, but giving up this 5th one is critical. Because having 5 grubs is absolutely massive in this scenario. Morgana is rotating up, but do you even win this 3v3? You've got to assess, right? Morgana's chucking Qs out without really thinking, but it is what it is. So, in Diamond, what you want to think about is, yes, we want those grubs. We want that tower control, that pushing control. But it's got to be a kill conversion ratio. Can I get a kill first and then take the grubs for free? Is a jungler somewhere else so I can do it for free? You just kind of walked over to the grubs, wasting a lot of time here. The Warwick goes and gets a kill. Olaf has pride. You're sitting there naked doing it. You get punished for it. It is what it is. And now we're just randomly rotating to fights that we think we can, deal with. We have 6 seconds on Q still. So we're going to go and ult the Tristana, which is great, but we don't have chain CC locked down. And then the Olaf's just going to kill us for it. It's better just to do the walk around here. And the Olaf will kill everybody, in fact. Wow. So here, why queue over this wall? Just walk around it. You know it's warded, 99%. I know you're trying to save time, but they're so pushed up. It doesn't matter that it's warded. Push on in. Get your kills. All right? Now, because she didn't do that, they're in a horrible situation. I've done 1,200 gold at the moment. There you go. Which doesn't feel like much. But if you were in this game, would you feel like, hey, we can win this? Because now my Draven's 461 and Vayne's 132. And even though the Tristana is the one that's fed and the Olaf is the one that's fed, what lane did Vi have impact? On what lane did Vi have impact? Where she could totally say, I caused this lane to win. None. Zero. She's lost a dragon. She lost 2 grubs. She's going to lose this dragon. The objective game is going against her. She's coin flipping a fight against a team in which they have a deficit. Now's not the time to go in and try and steal dragons. This is a very Silver thing to do. There's a difference between diamonds who are going to get masters, and you can see it in their ability to read the game, and then those that are just going to be diamond stuck. Both these junglers are not impressing anything of a master tier capability. And you look at the Tristana and you're like, well, it's Tristana. Then how come it's every laner, right? Like every time there's a mid laner or a solo laner that is a high elo play and they do this in Diamond, you're like, but they're playing this, they're playing this. What, like jungle doesn't have champions that do this? Yeah, they do. So, while we're not mid laners, the fact that your Tristana makes the outplay with her gold income, goes back to base, survives, comes back with the gold item lead, uses it on Karma to try and get a kill. She dies, unfortunately for her, but that's well played to the Karma. In the meantime, she rotates to the bottom lane, she rotates to the top lane, she rotates to the top lane again, she rotates to the bottom lane again. She's using her power across the map in a very powerful way that's offsetting losing lanes and is allowing her lead to change the narrative of the game, which is what a jungler does, which is why mid laners are so damn good when they're good. And as a jungler, you cannot be out-jungled by an enemy mid laner. Now, I know it's tough against Tristanas and Talons and Zeds, and it's really frustrating. Like, I get you. I feel it because of the nature of my champions, too. But I can guarantee you that if my sole goal was climbing as soon as possible, I wouldn't pick Zyra jungle. Like, I just wouldn't do it, right? Like, it's not worth the struggle for these situations. I will pick the bel'veths of the world, and I wouldn't actually pick bel'veth, but something like that. The Kindreds, the Rengars, most likely, where I can cut that enemy mid laner off, or I can be making that impact somewhere else. But I can tell you something, as doesn't matter what I'm playing, like a Mundo, Zyra, whatever. When I've got a winning bot lane like I did here, and I ganked it first, I'm ganking it again. I'm counter-ganking when the warrior comes down. Like, I'm structuring my game plan, and I'm making sure this Draven gets snowballed. This Draven is actually able to help me carry the game. And who on the blue team could say, yeah, my jungler really helped me? No, she just reacted to and got to stuff. The Warwick, bless his soul, did the same thing, but he's still 4-2-4 now. He's the same CS basically in -1 camp. He's hitting the turret with the grubs he got. Beautiful, exactly. Get plates. Has the Vi hit the turrets at all? No. Hit the turrets with your grubs, especially pre-14. Focuses. Like, why isn't the Vi pushing with her team here to get plates? Force a rotation. He's top, he's mid. You have HP advantage, plus your ult's coming up again, and you're still powerful without your ultimate. Why are we not helping push this? There's no reason to fall back to Krugs here. Sit in the bush, shove it up, say, guys, look, we got 30 seconds. We have 4 grubs. Can we get some plates? Like, treat this as you would treat a Herald. Like, imagine, if I had a Herald in Season 13, what would you do right now? You drop that son of a bitch, and you you go and hit the turret with it. To just over 2 plates. It's a free turret you guys can take before 14 hits. That hasn't changed just because you got grubs. So assume that mentality, all right? And then you'll observe, honestly, greatness. Because even if their whole team rotates to defend this, and guess what they will, look, you got your Q off, right? So that's an interrupted Tristana. She's going to die. These two, like, you're looking at most likely a triple kill for someone. If they contest the same way, you got a triple kill. But mostly you're there just to prevent the Tristana from doing this. Instead, the Tristana, super duper fed, gets more super duper fed while you're farming your jungle. And your grubs are useless. All 4 grubs have been useless. And so, in this complete diamond jungle coaching, we're focusing on jungle, not late game. That's why we're focusing on this early game so heavily, and I'm being so animated with you guys because I love watching diamond junglers. I hate watching diamond junglers, but I love watching diamond junglers who want to be master tier shift. I love watching that growth. I love it. I love seeing someone like this Vi become a Master Tier jungler, right? Tutu helps in the private server. He hit his Master Tier for the first time in December. It's been a great thing to watch that special climb that transforms your view on the game, really. You know, like it changes who you are. Really nice Q on the Warwick R there, though. That was nice. We do like that, but that's because Warwick's not a champion. Really easy snack. The Tristana's still bottom lane here, but again, no turret damage, no kill conversion ratio. Now it's tough. Like, you get a kill on the jungler, and you can't even get the objective because the enemy bot lane and the Vayne are still more powerful than you, even at 136. So it adds up. It really does add up. Watch the Fog of War here, always dip down in case they get a free herald for no reason. Like, no jungler, no Tristana, and they get a free herald. Well, Draven died again. So, what does this kind of remind you of as you watch this Vi? Again, trails all the way across the map here, has 1,000 gold with a dragon coming up. You got 1,000 gold with a dragon coming up. You're losing the game. You need to make a stand and make a fight at the second dragon, third dragon. Back to base, maximize whatever the hell it is you're buying, and try and win that fight. That's the way to kind of prevent this nonsense happening, which people, again, just don't do. So, here we go. Vi Q's in the other direction. And now Olaf just walks into a Draven. Like, the Draven's running it down in a passive way. Like, I don't think he's actually inting, but he's trying to do things because he's Draven, and no one's around him to support him, and he's not as strong as he should be to get it going. And obviously at this particular stage, look at this. When I told you at the beginning, please end your games, this is what the Tristana is doing. Learn from this Tristana. Learn from bel'veths who do this. Learn from Xin Shaos who do this. Learn from the meta junglers who just get leads and end the game. They've got the Herald here. They've got 3 dragons. The Warwick, while he hasn't done much, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter because he's still here pushing with his team. 2 mites plus a Herald equals an inhibitor. Now imagine with 4, right? You can end the game so damn quickly. They retract. Nothing happens for a little bit. Blue team are now sitting in a negative map state. Garen split pushes beyond vision line. Yes, it still happens even in Grandmaster, actually, but it is what it is. Now you're trying to clear your camps as much as you can. There's Tristana taking your red, so you're going to be slowly starved out. And if you're a scaling comp, you could wait and farm and hold and chill and do your best, but it looks like there's a mental give up, but it doesn't matter that it's a mental give up because honestly, you're never winning this game as the blue team now. Like, you're just not winning this game with a turret jump. This is the way you climb to Master Tier, by winning games with this sort of direct attitude and this powerful just... Look, we just went from 15 to 20 and the game ended. Covered a huge thing in my other Discord about mid-game spikes. The private one, the virkayu GG one. So that's on that private library, but it's a huge thing about mid-games. And I basically just say, in summary, make sure you hit that 15 to 20 minute marker the right way with Grubs and Herald, and you will win games easily at the moment in the season. And people who do that look like the red team. People who don't look like the blue team. Don't be like the blue team in this game.